Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones. You have a lot of open G tuning and different Keith Richards tricks, so let's zoom in and see what I've got to show you. So guys, for this lesson you would like to tune your guitars into open G, which is your 6th string, goes from E to D. This is D. Then you have your 5th string to G. Your 4th string stays D, your 3rd string also stays G, your 2nd string stays B, and your high E becomes a D. So the changes are basically here, low E becomes a D, the A becomes a G, and the high E becomes a D. And usually in this tuning you basically you never use your 6th string. You use only your 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st, but the lower one, no, not really. Open G, as you can say by the name, it's open G, so you play the chords and you have a G major chord. And this tuning is very common for Rolling Stones. Keith Richards loves to use this tuning. Almost all Rolling Stone hits are in open G, for example. And so on. So it's very typical if you want to play Stone songs on your open G tuning. So as I said, your open strings produce a G major chord. So the concept is that, for example, here, if you bar the frets, you have always major chords. For example, here you have a C major, here you have a D major. And you can imagine, like this is your typical C major in standard tuning, but since your 5th string is tuned down to G, you can play the same chord with one finger. And this is useful because your other fingers are free to do like different suspensions of the C major chord. So this is like a concept that must be useful if you want to play on open G. So Brown Sugar starts here. This is the 12th fret, which is G because open is G, 12th fret is also G. And you use this shape, very common for Keith Richards. And this is as if you're playing a minor chord from the 5th fret, but you leave your pinky free, so you have basically this. And the song starts. You have this shape, you hit, and then you leave them, and you play only major. So this shape here, you hit, then you leave your fingers, you leave only your bar, then you go all the way up here, which is your C major, but starting from the 5th fret, and you add again this shape. Here you start with the shape and leave it to the bar, and here the opposite, you begin with the bar, you add the shape and then you leave it again. Then you begin again. Here it doesn't change, it's the same. But on C major, Richards kind of changes the rhythm. For example, he goes. So you start with your C major 2 times, then you add your shape. So the first time. The third time is like the second time. And the fourth time is like the first time. Again, these are minor changes. If you play it the same time, the same way over and over again, they're not a big difference. But if you want to be exact like the record, yeah, Keith Richards changes. He alternates the rhythm. For example, let's do it again. The first time, second time, third time, and fourth time. So basically, this is your intro. And then you have something like a bridge, I don't know, that is a connection between the different verses, and also the saxophone, so it's played on top of this riff, and it starts here. So this is what the 8th fret. But he starts like, and then you also use almost the same shape, but not exactly. Your pinkies, your middle finger is there, but your ring finger is not over here as it's supposed to be, but a string down. So here you have this shape, here you have again this shape, but over here the shape is different. It's like this. Not, but, and you start. And you play those 2 strings, but he kind of slightly bends them, like. This is your first chord, then he goes to C major, so. And we have the similar shape as in the intro. Okay, and then you go all the way up here, and again you bar. And again you have a different shape here. You don't do the first shape, you don't do the second shape, but you do. He plays, as far as I can hear, only here. This is your 3rd string, 3rd fret. So. So he plays only the bar chord, then he adds his pinky. So. So as the pinky, then he moves the shape over here and plays it with the pinky, then without. So. And you finish it on your C major. Sometimes I hear hammer on, sometimes I do not, but let's say with the hammer on. You hammer on, the C major. So let's play all together the intro and this riff. So. Also, if you want to nail down this song, you must practice not only your left hand but also your right hand, because Keith Richards is an amazing rhythm guitarist. So he plays. Sometimes, if you listen to him live, he just walks on the stage, does nothing, and then he'll play one note, but in the exact right moment. Like, he has a very good sense of rhythm. So you need to practice a lot with the record or with the metronome. But yeah, that's far as the rhythm goes. Then when the singing starts, it starts on the C major again, and basically you have your typical boogie, like. So C major, and you have like, in your standard tuning, it will be your familiar shape, like turn. But this first finger comes here, and you just add your. Also, you can add your suspension, it doesn't matter. Then you go here, which is your F major. This is the 10th fret. Again, you bar into this shape. So the singing starts. So for your first chord is C major, then you go to F major, and then you come again to C major. Typical your typical blues, basically. It starts like. So when you hear this, it's maybe a turnaround, I guess. You should have seen her just around midnight, and then starts the chorus, which is starts in G. So again, the verse. Into the chorus. So the chorus is G major, which I think he plays it open, and your second chord is again C major. So. It goes back to this bridge or riff, I don't know. So he does some kind of this kind of licks here in open G. I'm not sure exactly note by note what are they, but I hear something like. So you slide after you hit your open G, you slide from. This is the 5th string, 2nd fret to the 4th. Then you have your 4th string open, then 2nd fret, and your 3rd string open, which is your G. like, which is you're alternating between open and second fret of the fourth string. And then your second chord of the chorus is your C major with a typical boogie rhythm. So once again the chorus. Play the same lick that I showed you. You can improvise here in your open position, like everything that it sounds good to you. You can play it here, even if you hear a live version of this song. Richard does something different each time. You know, it's not the same. So feel free to improvise here using your G major. So after the chorus, you go back to your and then you have another verse, I guess, then another chorus, and then again this riff, and you have the saxophone solo. And basically this is the song. Sometimes in the end, especially in live version, they kind of change the rhythm. So the outro, if we can say it like that, or this is just a chorus, is again G and C. But sometimes I hear, instead of playing like open, Richard goes here. So sometimes he plays it open, sometimes he plays here, and basically this is the song.